So getting back to our original premise, I do think there is a difference, a subtle but fundamental difference between a data asset and a data product. And we've kind of covered a lot of this. From a scope perspective, I think data assets are generated for internal consumption, whereas a data product is generated for external consumption. And by external, I don't always mean by consumption by people outside the company. By external, I mean data sharing across organizational boundaries, whether those are internal or external. I don't know about you, but we consult for a lot of organizations, and every company we go into, there are data fiefdoms, and data does not pass through those boundaries very easily. And they really need a better mechanism than they have now to bridge those organizational boundaries. From a request perspective, data assets are interaction, whereas a data product is transaction. So how do you request a data asset? Well, you pick up the phone and call your data analyst, or email them, or submit a ticket. Or if you're more formal, create a project request or proposal. Whereas a data product, the request is transactional. You go to the store and you buy it or acquire it. For a data asset, you can discover assets in a data catalog if your company is so fortunate to have one. For a data product, that's a data store. And I think it's a little different than a data catalog, although they're close. Access rights. Well, with the asset, ideally, it's predefined once that asset is created, but in most companies, it's not. So you have to request access to it. In the data product, that access is always predefined. There may be some cases where you've been locked out and you want access and you're going to knock on the door. But in most cases, people have to define upfront who's going to access that product. With metadata, you've got descriptions of the asset. With a data product, you have subscriptions. Who can access what content, at what frequency, for what duration, to be delivered through what channel, in what format to what target. Right? Those things have to be defined upfront, either fixed or as options. From a contract perspective, ideally, a data asset has a service level agreement, but a data product, the agreement is a little bit more tangible and hopefully meaty. It's more of a product guarantee with terms of usage and terms of service, which we'll talk about in a second. Governance, for a data asset, it's more about a project. You kick off a project, you run the project, and you complete the project. Whereas with a data product, it's more of a product management. It's a program that's continuous, and you have to iterate over and over again and have various investment cycles that go with that. So it's a very different mindset. It's project versus program, really.